The sonar trace was 30 centimeters long on paper. What it represented in the water was something else entirely. October 1952. The RSS Discovery 2 was working the Atlantic southwest of the Canary Islands, conducting routine depth soundings in water exceeding 2,000 meters. The air smelled of salt and diesel. Below deck, the echo sounder rolled its paper trace in slow mechanical rhythm, fish schools printed as soft, scattered clouds of ink. Then the operator's hand stopped. One return sat apart from everything else. Dense, elongated, oriented vertically in the water column, not the horizontal smear of a school, not noise. Something singular and long, holding position in open, deep water with a coherence that living things rarely produce on paper. The vessel's log recorded the contact. The coordinates were noted. The measurement, a precise number extracted from that ink trace, was entered into the record. That number has never been reconciled with any known species. Not then, not since. Here is what makes that remarkable. The oarfish, Regalecus glesner, first formally described by Ascanius in 1808, is a real animal, verified, filmed, strange, beyond reason. It carries up to 400 vertebrae, more than any other vertebrate on Earth. Its entire dorsal fin runs the length of its body, each ray undulating constantly, because the oarfish carries no swim bladder at all. It holds position in the deep entirely through motion. And it hangs vertically, head up, a living column in black water. The US Navy documented exactly this posture off California in October 1963. NOAA's ROV captured it again in the Gulf of Mexico in March 2011. The behavior is confirmed. The animal is real. But the verified specimens tell a different story about size. Tyson Roberts at the California Academy of Sciences documented maximum confirmed lengths in his 1978 systematic review of the Regalicidae family. The numbers are smaller than the legends. By the end of this video, the original 1,952 log entry will be placed directly against the oarfish's own acoustic tagging data, published data with a named institution and a year. The gap between what the sonar measured and what the biology can support reduces to a single number. That number is why the contact was never classified. The obvious answer arrived quickly. Scientists pointed to Regalecus glesner, the giant oarfish, a real animal, documented, filmed, and capable of behavior that matched the 1,952 contact almost exactly. Alistair Hardy at Oxford's Department of Zoology had already noted in 1956 that certain deep-sea species maintained sustained vertical orientations in the water column. The oarfish fit the profile. Long body, deep range. Known to hold itself head upward in open water with barely a movement visible. The US Navy confirmed the behavior wasn't theoretical. In October 1963, a submersible off the California coast observed a live oarfish in a vertical, head-up position, documented in a formal technical report. This was the posture the 1,952 sonar return described. The case felt closed. Then came 2023. Researchers at UC San Diego's Scripps Institution of Oceanography attached acoustic tags, each one thumb-sized, to live oarfish specimens. The tags transmitted depth data in real time. The vertical behavior was confirmed. Sustained, repeatable, exactly what sonar would catch rising through the water column. Here is where the oarfish earns its strangeness. Up to 400 vertebrae, more than any other vertebrate on Earth. No swim bladder at all. It holds position through constant undulatory motion of a dorsal fin that runs the entire length of its body, ray by ray, like a living comb. Tyson Roberts at the California Academy of Sciences documented maximum verified lengths in his 1978 systematic review of the Regalicidae family. The numbers were extraordinary, but they had a ceiling. The Scripps tagging study published its measurements. The largest confirmed specimen in the dataset, 5.4 meters. The 1,952 sonar return measured 20 meters. That is not a rounding error. That is nearly 4 times the size of the largest oarfish science has physically confirmed. Unverified reports reach 17 meters. No preserved specimen in any scientific collection exceeds 11. So the question is precise, and it has no clean answer. If oarfish grow to 20 meters, where is one? Here is the number. The gap between what the sonar logged and what biology can account for is 14.6 meters. The 1,952 contact measured 20 meters. The largest acoustically tagged oarfish, documented by researchers at Scripps Institution of Oceanography in 2023, measured 5.4 meters. That is not a rounding error. That is a ratio of 3.7 to 1. Tyson Roberts, reviewing the entire Regalesidae family at the California Academy of Sciences in 1978, placed the maximum verified oarfish length at 8 meters. Unconfirmed reports reach 17. No specimen above 11 meters has ever been preserved in a scientific collection. The 1,952 contact, if it was an oarfish, would be the largest fish ever recorded, by a wide margin. The 2023 data did not close the case, it sharpened it. The Scripps tagging confirmed the oarfish does ascend vertically, sustained through the water column, exactly matching the 1,952 contact's movement profile. The behavior was real. The animal was real. The size was impossible. Consider what 20 meters of oarfish would require biologically. Regalicus glesnae already carries up to 400 vertebrae, more than any other vertebrate alive. It has no swim bladder. It maintains depth through constant dorsal fin undulation, up to 400 individual rays working in continuous sequence. Scaling that system to 20 meters would demand metabolic and structural capacity the species has never been shown to possess. The 1,952 log was never reclassified. A notation added by a later hand, dated 1987, reads simply, Confer Regalicus, no resolution. No acoustic signature database for oarfish existed before the 2010s. Every sonar contact logged before that decade was measured against nothing. The operators in October 1952 had no reference. They logged what they measured. They did not guess. The oarfish's eye is adapted to near-zero light, silver, gold, wide, built for depths where sonar still works better than any camera. Whatever the 1,952 contact was, it lived below the reach of lenses. The ocean floor near the Canary Islands sits more than 3,000 meters down. The contact was recorded at 600 meters. There is a great deal of water below that line that has never been tagged, sampled, or filmed. What the index concludes, the 1,952 contact remains the single sonar record of a vertically ascending deep water object, consistent in behavior with Regalicus glesnae, and impossible in scale. Filed, unclassified, unresolved, and precise to the centimeter.